been the theme for the month. So we've been talking about it, and this won't be the last time we talk about it. So when I think about happiness, the first thing I do is I go and look at the dictionary. What does happiness mean, or happy mean? And what dictionary.com said, it's a feeling of joy, delight, pleasure. And I think that was demonstrated in the song, because I felt all that as I was watching. Anybody not feel that? You just kind of wanted to clap and just be joyful. So we're going to continue our conversation about happiness today. And we're going to enjoy it, right? We're going to be happy. Like our minions. Reverend Mykal loves the minions. So we get an outline of what we could possibly talk about on Sundays. And some of us follow them, and some of us, there are times when we don't. This particular time, the author kept talking about shape-shifting. And I was like, ooh, shape-shifting. And what it made me think about is I used to like to watch Charmed, and I know there's some Charmed fans in here. Does everybody know what Charmed, the TV show Charmed? Mm-hmm. Anybody not know it? Okay. So Charmed was and I'm talking about the old show. I'm not talking about the new one. The old one. And it's about three sisters that are witches. And they're good witches. Yes. And so there are these beings called shapeshifters in the show. And they don't appear every episode, but they're there. And basically what they can do is they can change form. And they can become another person. They can become an animal. They can become an inanimate object. They can change their form. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I started thinking about the show Bewitched. Mm-hmm. Everybody remember Bewitched? Yes. Okay. And I remember wanting to be like Samantha and be able to just wiggle my nose and then things just happen. Anybody else have that feeling? Oh, yeah. Okay. And then there was the show I Dream of Jeannie, so you can see the kind of shows I like to watch. So,
You have to watch Once Upon a Time.
Oh, I did. I was Once Upon a Time. But the I Dream of Jeannie, now, I didn't want to be Major Nelson. I didn't want to be Jeannie. I wanted to be Major Nelson. In that I had a genie that would give me my every wish. Well, what I've come to realize is that we have all that. It's already here. There is magic all around us. And there's magic because we are all connected to Source. We're all one. And there's magic because we are co-creating with Spirit. We are creating. We are creators. And we are manifestors. And so the title of my talk today is Shape Shifting. So we're all going to be talking about how we're going to shift shapes. We're going to shift our life. We're going to shift how we're feeling. We're going to shift. Okay? You ready to take this journey with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yay. Okay, so we had this idea, we had this conversation, we had the little workshop about the vision board. So we all created this vision. And we're creating these vision boards to support our vision. And we're wanting to live this vision. We're wanting to breathe life into this vision. We're wanting this vision to manifest. Correct? In the process of all this, though, we need to be happy. Okay? Yes. Because it's one of those things, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay? And in this case, it's happy comes before the vision. Mm-hmm. It's not the other way around. You can't sit back and say, okay, as soon as this happens, I'm going to be happy. Okay? That's not how it works. Because we're talking about we're energy. Oh, and by the way, that last piece of paper is for you to take any kind of notes that you want. That's why that paper's there. Okay? And if you need more paper, I have more paper. So we're energy. And we know that energy can shift. And we all know about the law of attraction, right? Like energy attracts like energy. Okay? So, we have these visions. And these visions are all already present. So what's standing in the way of me today and my vision over there? How do I draw that vision to me? Well, one of the ways is it's already here. So I'm not having to draw anything. It's more of that accepting. So we went through this exercise of accepting what we wrote on our paper, right? We're accepting. So it's real important that we accept. So there are 5 points that I want to make around this particular issue, around the, not issue, but this particular subject as far as the vision. So the first one, Maestro. So the first thing I want to talk about is connection. It's important for us to understand and to know that we're connected to Spirit. That we are all connected. And the lovely thing about the connection is, if somebody else is doing it, guess what? You can too. Because you can tap into that vast pool of knowledge, of creativity. You can tap into it at any time. And how you tap into it is by understanding your connection with Source. You can really stop at that sentence. You know, when we do our 5 steps of treatment, and we say recognition is that first one, because we're recognizing that Spirit, that God is all there is. And then second, unification, that I'm one with God. The prayer could stop there. Because that's where the magic happens. That's where the nose twitching, the putting the arms and all happens, is in those 2 statements. And when one is connected, oh baby, you know, you can just enjoy the ride. So that's what we're talking about, connection. Next point. Compassion. Compassion is important. Of course, everything I'm saying is important, right? I think, at least yes. I think so.
Of course.
Take a look at 2018. We had successes, everyone had successes, and everyone had challenges. Okay? It's just part of life. Okay? And it's not about jumping up and down about your successes and being, oh, woe is me about your challenges. It's about looking at both of them and deciding what works. So with your successes, what were those things that you did in order to create these successes? And how do I take those into 2019? The challenges is like, okay, so what did I learn from those? What are some things that I'm not going to do that. But you know, if I switch this around, ooh, this is going to be good. And I can take those into 2019. Now, during this process, it's important for you to be compassionate towards yourself. It's not about beating yourself up. Oh, God, you know, why did I do that again? It's about being lifted up, because remember, it's about being happy. And when you're beating yourself up, I don't know about you, but I'm not very happy when I'm beating myself up. Okay, next one. Clarity. It's important for you to be clear about what it is that you're calling forward in your life. And in that you need to be specific. Okay, because I feel like the universe has jokes sometimes. Anybody else had that experience? It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's not always a good, for me, like a good sense of humor. It's like, I think about, there was one day when, and I've told this story before, about I didn't feel like going to work. And so, you know, I get in my car, and I get like 3 blocks away from my house, and my car stops. Okay, I got my wish. I didn't get to go to work that day, but that wasn't the way I wanted it to happen. Okay? I wasn't specific. It's just like if you say, oh, I want more money. And I walk out of here and I find a penny on the ground. Well, that's more money than I had a moment ago. But it's not quite what I had in mind. So it's about being clear. Because what I feel like is the universe, when you're in that wishy-washy, anybody ever been wishy-washy?
Yeah.
And I feel like the universe is just kind of sitting back going, okay, you know, when you get clear, I'll be over here. And, you know, you let me know. And so you don't see anything happen. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? I just can't manifest. Well, it's like, we don't know what to bring you. It's just like you go into a restaurant and you keep changing your order. You're still hungry. You have no food because you're not clear. Okay? Next one. Congruence. And what I'm talking about there is that you need to be the mental equivalent. You need to be the vibrational match to what it is that you're calling forward. You can't be in a place of lack and limitation and want to be prosperous. You can't. It just won't work. You have to be the vibrational match. Okay? So you have to be congruent. So for those of you who are wanting to call in that perfect soulmate, and I guess that's kind of, if it's your soulmate, it's perfect, right? So maybe I don't need to say that. So you're calling in your soulmate, and you've made that list. Anybody ever made a list of the soulmates? Oh, yeah, and that's a good list, right? Here's the caveat. That list you've made, you need to be everything on that list. Okay? Because remember the law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you're talking about, oh, I want someone who's loving and affectionate, and you're just kind of bitter, standoffish kind of person, and none of you are, I'm just using it as to make a point, that you can't attract that loving and affectionate person. It just doesn't work. Okay? So congruence. Next one. Community. Community is important because you have this vision and you need those people that are going to support you in the vision. Okay? You don't want to share your vision with those people that are naysayers, or those people that are going to kind of think you're a little ridiculous. And you know, I always thought you were a little strange, but now you have confirmed it. And how do you think that this is going to happen? Who do you think you are to have this happen? Okay? I mean, I've had that experience. You know, I've even had, you know, my own parents tell me something that I can't do. So, find that community. This room is a great place. But there are other people outside of this room, organizations, that are here to support you. So it's important that you create a community, because the people you hang out with is who you become. So if you're hanging out with those people that are naysayers and are not supportive and uplifting, at some point it's going to rub off on you, and you're probably going to just pull that kind of energy in. Okay? So next. Yes. Okay, so there we have it. We have connection, compassion, clarity, congruence, and community. Okay? The next piece I want to talk about is about, you know, in the midst of building our vision, we need to be happy. Okay? But stuff's going to happen. Life is going to happen. There are going to be those things that you're not as happy about. Correct? And how do we stand in that place of being happy in the face of these things? Next slide, please. In the, this is a verse in the happy song that we just heard. He says, here comes bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. So basically what he's saying there is, come on, bring it on. I'm going to be happy in spite of whatever you do, whatever is happening. And I think about Kenny, is that his name, the young man? Yeah. And Reverend Vaughn tells a story about when he was doing dialysis and just the stuff that happened to this young man, Kenny. The kidney was put in upside down. He was burned during the process of dialysis. And yet, he stayed happy. What was it, Cheetos and Pepsi?
Yeah.
And, you know, and eating the Cheetos and Pepsi while he's, you know, getting the dialysis, and the nurse is saying, well, no, you know, you're not supposed to be drinking fluids because they're trying to get the fluid out. And he's like, well, hey, I'm in the right place. You know, as I'm drinking, this is the time to do it if I'm going to do it. So it's about being happy in the midst of it. Now, I think we need a few tools in order to help us along. At least I do. Because, I mean, it's nice to say, oh, well, just be happy. It's like, okay, well, how do I do that? So I think we've had demonstrated some ways this morning. So in the happy song, there were two things that they were doing. What were they doing? Dancing and singing. So dancing and singing, when you're doing it just for the fun of it, there's no way you can be unhappy. I mean, just listening to the song, it just lifted me up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and everybody, you know, I could hear people starting to clap. It's just like, ooh. So those are two ways that you can be happy. Okay? Happy right here and now. You're at home, you can just dance. Just, ooh. Or you can dance on the street. I mean, you know, you do you. But those are two ways. I love, in the song, I woke up this morning. There's a formula there. So first of all, they woke up with their mind, you know, mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with mind stayed on spirit. All day long, I keep my mind stayed on spirit. Now, we've already talked about our connection with spirit and how awesome, how spirit just wants the best for you. The spirit is just like, oh, here, take it all. And there is no all to take because it never diminishes. It's just us limiting what it is, right? What it is we can receive. Because the spirit is saying it's all here. Just for you. What do you want? I'm your genie. Your wish is my command. And we're over here, well, you know, stop it in the Bob Newhart way, right? Okay, so we have dancing, we have singing. There is also staying out of the comparison game. Now, what I'm talking about there is, have you ever compared yourself to other people?
Maybe.
Well, I know I have. And when I do it, I usually come out on the losing end. I have this friend who I love. I absolutely love her. And she is very successful in the fashion design world. Extremely successful. And what used to happen is every time I would talk to her, there would be something fabulous going on in her life. And I felt like Charlie Brown in the Christmas special. I got a rock. You know, do you guys remember the Charlie Brown's Halloween, where he keeps getting the rock?
It's a rock, yeah.
That's what I would feel like. And I'd get off the phone with her, and I would just be miserable. And because I'm like, oh my God, she's doing all these things, and I'm not doing anything. Or I'm doing very little. Not good. Not happy energy. So how I've shifted that, because remember we're talking about shape shifting. We're talking about shifting. How I've shifted that is to be joyful for her successes. Mm-hmm. And to understand that her successes don't diminish anything that I have done. And that her successes aren't getting in the way of my successes. And that she is demonstrating to me the possibilities. So don't get in the comparison loop. Okay? There's another piece about not being part of the problem, but being part of the solution. And you've heard that. We've all heard that. But it's interesting how it shows up. I think about, there have been a few times in my life where someone has done something and I didn't like it. And I have felt the need to tell them. And the response to me has been, well, what do you want to do about it? And in that, it's like, oh. Because what happens in that response is, it stops me from complaining. Because they're now in the solution mode. And I'm wanting to stay in the problem mode. But they've cut me off at the knees. And so it's like, oh, okay. I now have to think about solutions. What is it I truly want? And make that my focus. Because in shape shifting, you have to change your focus. Okay? The next practice, and can we have the next slide, is something that I feel is a good practice. So if you're triggered by anything like sadness, frustration, worry, it all works. You describe how you're feeling. So it could be, oh, I'm really sad, and you describe it. Then you describe how you want to feel. Okay? So you maybe want to feel joy, satisfaction, bliss, laughter. Okay? And then you spend some time in the how you want to feel. Okay? Is that making sense to everybody? Because it's the acting as if, and we've talked about that before. And so you're in that place of feeling the feeling because everything that you've put on your vision board is there because it gives you some kind of feeling. You're going to get some kind of feeling from having these things or having these experiences. So it's about the feeling, because remember how beliefs come about. It's thought plus emotion equals a belief, right? And so therefore, if I am really excited and happy about this thought, it's going to change my belief and my life is going to change. Okay? So this is a really good practice and something that you can do wherever you are if you can't dance or sing. Okay? The last one that I want to share, and I mean there are so many, but the last one I want to share is about appreciation, because we can't have a conversation about being happy and not talk about appreciation or gratitude or Thanksgiving, whatever name you want to use it. Okay? Now, and this is going to be part of your homework. Yes, I haven't forgotten that. I know you thought I might have, but I didn't. Appreciation. There are times when stuff happens, right? We're all clear about there are times stuff happens. Or there may be times when it's like, ooh, I really, really want whatever it is. But because of your attachment to whatever it is, there's some resistance. And so there's some kind of pushback, and it's not manifesting for yourself. Appreciation, gratitude is a good place to go to shift your mind from thinking about whatever it is that you're thinking about. Okay? So, 3 minutes. For 3 minutes, do appreciation. But it's pure appreciation. And what I mean by pure appreciation is those things that you have no resistance about. So for instance, for me, a few of them might be, I appreciate beautiful flowers. I appreciate hearing children's laughter. I appreciate hearing the sound of water, running. I appreciate the smell of baked goods. Okay? So those I have no attachment to, they're pure. Now, what I mean by those thoughts that might not be pure, because there might be some resistance. Oh, I appreciate being a billionaire. Okay. That's nice, and that's truly happening in my life. But I have some resistance. There's some doubt that I'm working through in order for that to happen. Okay? So those are the things that I want you to stay away from. I want you to be with those things that truly, I appreciate trees. Okay, those things. Okay. The other part of the appreciation or gratitude is at night before you go to bed, and I'm sure several of you do this, peruse your day and think about those things that you are appreciative in your day. Okay? That gratitude, because you're now going to bed in a state of gratitude. You are shifting how you are being. You're shifting your thoughts. Okay. So, homework. 2 parts. First part, 3 minutes of gratitude. How long are we going to do that? Every day. Well, it's every day, but how long? What's a good time? What's a good amount of time? I would say forever,
21
but
days.
21 days? There we got it. So for the next 21 days, 3 minutes of gratitude.
Or the next time until you speak.
That works too. I like that one. 3 minutes of gratitude until you see me up here again speaking, which will be probably March. Yeah, I think it's March. It is. But just think of the momentum that you will have established doing this 3 minutes a day. And it's real easy. You can do it on the bus, in the car, in the shower. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay? The next part is I want everyone to get a theme song. Okay? A theme song. And this theme song is going to be something that's going to help you, when you're feeling not in that happy place. You can play this. So this is not a blues song. It's not a somebody did me wrong song. There's a lot of those out there. It's one that's going to be uplifting, that's going to get you like, ooh, yes, in that place of knowing that it's all good, as Mark likes to say. He likes to say, it's all good. So, gratitude or appreciation, 3 minutes until the next time I speak.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm down with that.
Which may be a little longer because I think I'm not here that last week of March. So it might go into April.
Or it might be sooner because we could switch.
Or it could be.
There.
Okay. And then theme songs. So I want everyone to email me your theme song by New Year's Day.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
Okay. Well, no, in an email. I don't want you to tell me. I want you to email because this is your commitment to you. Email is PLEE, so P Lee, design, D as in dog, E, S as in Sam, IGN, at AOL.com. Yes, I have an old AOL account. I just have not changed it. So it's pleedesign at AOL.com. Okay? So I'm looking forward to hearing and to seeing what those songs are. And you can use those songs to just lift you up and to be in that happy place. And so, and I guess the third part I want to say is your commitment to being happy. So to be mindful, to remember that that is your natural state of being. Being happy is your purpose for being here. Okay? And if you find yourself in an unhappy space, doing one of the techniques I talked about today, or you might have some techniques of your own that you can do to lift you up, because we're about shifting. And so it is.